Hare Krishna devotees, please accept my humble obeisances. All goes Sri Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya. Chekshurmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale. Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namini. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine. Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desatarini. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधरा श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. So today is an interesting topic we'll discuss. The topic is God not responsible for everything, including the bad we do? Like that. So this is a common question. So we're training you all to be prepared for answering these questions for others also. Not only understand yourself. Once you understand it, then you can easily explain to others also. So even if I do bad things, God is making me do bad things like that. Some students say like this: I'm smoking because God is making me smoke. I'm drinking because God is making me drink. Because everything is done by God, everything is in control of God. That's a line of thought they have. So the question comes: is that true? Can all things we can put it on God? So this conversation, the similar question, somebody asked Srila Prabhupada, who is the founder Acharya of ISKCON, and Srila Prabhupada gave a nice answer. Is somebody the way he asked is, God created tobacco. He created so that we can use only, right? That means God wants us to use. That's why He created it. That was the logical argument. And Srila Prabhupada said, yes, God also created datura poison that comes from a plant. Apparently, there's a poison called datura that comes from plant, it seems. So God also created that. So why don't you eat that poison? This boy got suddenly shocked. And then he said, oh, if I eat, I will die. Like that. Then Srila Prabhupada made the point. You are supposed to discriminate what is good for you and what is not good for you. God has provided milk also, and God has provided liquor also. Liquor is made, you probably know it's buried. Grapes are stored for a long time, several years sometimes, and then they extract the alcohol from it, for example. That's one type of alcohol, of course. So God gave both the choices, milk and liquor also. So you were meant to discriminate like that, Prabhupada said. So we are given this human form of life, which is very valuable because we have a higher intelligence that gives us discrimination. Not for animals or other lower creatures don't have so much discrimination. They have intelligence. Sometimes they have higher intelligence in one way. Which way? For example, eagle can soar high. From the high, it can see spot something, prey in the dawn. Or crane can quickly pick up a running fish. Or horse can run super fast compared to human being. But they're only using it for those things only: eating, sleeping, mating, defending. Whereas human form, we are given higher intelligence to discriminate and understand higher things like that. So we know Bhagavad Gita is there. We can study Bhagavad Gita and understand and choose what is the right thing that is good for us by understanding scriptures. That's what one of the things that God provided us. So, so we should not pass the buck or the blame to God. We should use the discrimination ourselves like that. That is one main point here. Now, how to understand this then? Why did God provide this thing, whatever we want? Because when we desire, then God provides facility to fulfill our desire. But we own the consequences of the desire and the resultant actions that happen. For example, if I go to a restaurant and I order lots of food, pizza, burger, whatever food I order, let us say, then I'll get the big bill. I cannot say to the restaurant owner, why did you give me bill? Why you give me so many things? If I asked you, you should have said, no, I don't want to give you. Why did you give me? And then give me a bill? Because we expressed our desire. And similarly, God also is fulfilling the desire by giving the facility. Another example to same thing is, to illustrate the same point is uh, little bit next level point. Father, let us say father is taking a child to the park. Park has different items to play for the child. First he goes, Daddy, I want to go to play with the slide. So sure, you can go and he plays the slide for some time. After some time, he'll get bored. Children's nature, they cannot stay with one thing, right? Then they'll say, okay, I will go to the seesaw. So you know seesaw, the one that goes like this up and down. So that one person sits on that side, one person sits on this side. It goes up and down like that, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, good. Okay. So he goes to the seesaw. Then he understands that actually he climbs up somehow and gets on it, but he's light. So somehow he lies back and then it smashes on the ground because there's nobody balancing on the other side. So then he starts crying. So basically, father allows him to play, but now he's crying. Earlier, he was laughing when he's playing on the side sliding game. So that means the facilities are there. Based on what I choose, I will either be happy or if I choose something else, I will cry. That facilities are there for happiness and distress in the world like that. Similarly, we only invite happiness and distress or suffering by our own actions. God is just providing the facilities for us. Now we need to make the right choice so that we can be happy instead of distressful. That is another point. So, first point we discussed was um, God has given discrimination even though He created everything so that we can choose the right thing. Now, uh, second point we're discussing now is also we discussed just now is that God has given several facilities, but by making some choices we get distress, some choices we get happiness like that. Now, why should God allow me to do bad things at all? First of all, if I do bad things, you should stop me. You should not allow me to do it. So this can be understood by another example. So let us say a child is very curious. In India, we have table fans, the fans that rotate very close to us. We can keep it close to us, for example. Here also some fans are there like that, very close to us. So children are very curious, that is rotating always. They want to try putting their finger inside the fan. So father says, don't put it, your finger will be hurt. But child never understands. He's trying to look an opportunity when nobody's there, try to put it like that. So what an intelligent father does is switches on the fan, and after it slowed down sufficiently, then he asks me to put the finger in the fan. Then he will see that, oh my God, it is hurting. So then father will explain to child, see, if you put the hand in such slow speed, it hurt you. Now imagine if the power was on, it was going super speed, your finger will get cut off. Then the child will understand by his own experience. So sometimes children will understand by speaking, by telling them. Sometimes they want to experience this the hard way. Similarly, we suffer and learn the lesson. Then God is not a cruel person at the same time that He wants us to suffer, because He not only gave us opportunity to try to enjoy, to show us that we cannot enjoy, we have to suffer, but He's also giving several gifts for us so that we can use these gifts to go back to God, to place of eternal happiness. What are some of the gifts that God has given us? Scriptures like Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, the temples, deities, the devotees who can guide us, some teachers, Hare Krishna Mahamantra we're chanting, and the prasadam that we get to eat, we can offer to God and accept it. And then the holy rivers that are there, like Ganga, Yamuna, all the holy rivers are there, Godavari. Then holy places are there, like Vrindavan, Madura, Jagannath Puri, Mayapur, all these holy Dwaraka, like that, several holy places are there. And Srirangam, like that, these holy places are all God has given so that we can take advantage of all these things and learn to live a pure lifestyle. Then we can live our life in Sattva Guna or mode of goodness. Then we can be happy in this world also and in the next life also. Next life can be spiritual body with spiritual life in a spiritual world also. Right now, we know I'm a soul, I'm very pure. We can take an analogy to about rainwater. Rainwater is considered pure as long as it's coming. But the moment it comes into contact with ground, it's considered very muddy because it becomes impure. But the same water that contacted the ground and became contaminated now can be purified. And then it becomes pure again. So how the rainwater that came in contact with mud can be purified. Similarly, the soul that has come in contact with the material world can be purified. Uh, Soul is always pure, but it's covered by impurity currently by coming to this material world. So that impurities can be purified. It's described we all have a good side and a bad side, or a good dog and a bad dog. In Bhagavad Gita terminology, Krishna describes there is a divine propensities inside and there's a demonic propensity inside also. So, which dog we feed, that dog becomes strong. Let us say I feed good dog, then that dog becomes strong and that dog will dominate in our actions, thought process like that. But if you feed the bad dog, that dog becomes strong. That means demonic tendencies will go more and more and more and more like that. Similarly, how do we feed the good dog? How do we feed the bad dog? How do we increase our divine propensities? And how do we in, what will increase our demonic propensities? We can understand. How do we understand that? Basically, if you're accepting Krishna consciousness and accepting devotional principles like you are doing, like eating prasadam, coming to temple, attending regular programs, and chanting Hare Krishna regularly like you're doing every day, and then living with devotees whenever association opportunities come, and then leading a pure lifestyle as much as we can, and studying scriptures like Bhagavad Gita. By doing these activities that are aligned, that are favorable for Krishna consciousness, we're feeding the good dog, or the divine propensities we are increasing. But on the contrary, if you take to principles that are not favorable for Krishna consciousness, like drinking alcohol, taking drugs, not doing our duties of studying, or doing our occupational duty, then we feed the bad dog. Then the resultant reaction is we'll suffer more. So it is our choice. It is our life. We have to decide what we wish to do. In Bhagavad Gita, 16th chapter, Krishna talks about Daivi Sampat and Asura Sampat. Asuri Sampat. Daivi Sampat means divine opulences, divine consciousness. And Asuri Sampat means demonic consciousness. So Krishna says, Arjuna, you have Daivi Sampat. You have divine consciousness, like that it tells. On the contrary, Duryodhana has Asuric tendencies, demonic tendencies. When somebody is watching them both fighting in the battlefield, Arjuna is fighting, Duryodhana is fighting. So external action both are doing is same. But however, the consciousness both have is a big difference. For example, Arjuna is fighting for Krishna's pleasure, and that is removing all his bad karmas, previous karmas is all reducing now. And is becoming free from material bondage and is getting an eternal life soon. Whereas Duryodhana, as he's doing more fighting, because he's fighting for his enjoyment, his own pleasure, is not becoming pure, he's becoming more and more impure. And moreover, he's fighting for adharma, for his own sake, for his own sense enjoyment only. He did not want to give a pin drop of land also to Pandavas. Such a personality, he has so much greed and envy. So he is making his life to be go towards hell now. Whereas on the other hand, Krishna is guiding the Pandavas so that they can win. Similarly, in our life, when we take the guidance of Bhagavad Gita, we can follow Krishna's directions and we can awaken our divine side, the good dog. And then slowly our demonic side will diminish and go away as we are increasing the divine propensities. How do we do that? By This can be easily done by two things. One is chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. That is one easy thing we can do. Second thing is reading Bhagavad Gita and learning principles and applying them in our life daily. By doing these two things, we can be assured of increasing our divine propensities, awaken our divine side. And that way, the demoniac will go away gradually like that. So one is glorifying the name of the God by chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, and another is glorifying the fame of the Lord by reading Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, like that scriptures. By doing these two things, our contaminations that are in our heart, like lust, anger, greed, envy, pride, illusion, they all get cleared up. So in Srimad Bhagavatam, it is described by hearing the holy name Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Rama, Hare Hare. Our heart becomes purified completely. What does that mean? What does purification mean? That means only good God remains ultimately. No bad dog. That means no demonic propensities remain. That is the power of the holy name. The bad dog is dead in the other sense. In this way, we always go in the positive direction only because we have divine propensities. So, in one sense, in our life, Krishna vector is always upward, whereas this demonic vector is downward. Maya vector is downward. So, if you follow Krishna, we'll go up towards the spiritual world. If you follow Maya, we'll go down towards the hellish planets and animal kingdom like that. So, if we keep on with the pure spiritual things, we can increase the magnitude of this upward vector towards Krishna and reduce the magnitude of the downward vector towards Maya. So, if so, uh, all of the students who are starting Krishna consciousness, practicing Krishna consciousness, are very fortunate because you are attending weekly programs, taking devotees association, eating prasadam, attending programs, chanting Hare Krishna daily. By this process, your heart becomes pure. It's a matter of time that you go from this material world of suffering to the everlasting happiness in spiritual world. So to conclude, we should never give up the chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. It is like our hotline to connect with Krishna. Hotline means, I don't know, you familiar with, in India, we used to have a leased lines. When one bank branch to another bank branch, you just lift the phone. You don't need to dial the number. Then it will directly connect to the other branch. It will ring there. As soon as you pick up the phone, it will ring there other side. Like that, it's a hotline to Krishna connection, or chanting Hare Krishna. So we connect with Krishna daily by chanting the Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So that is the essence of the topic. So we learned that how God is not responsible for everything we are doing. We are responsible because God has given us the intelligence. God has given the facility to seek the right resources, right association. So we can make the right choices to grow closer to Him instead of going away from Him and suffering. So that is the essence of this today's session. Any reflections or comments you might have? Amin?
No, Professor, I think you basically described it nicely. One thing that, like, no, 2 points I want to bring, or maybe basically add, which is, I think this was said by Gaur Gopal Das Prabhu. He is also a ISKCON. So he
Nice.
said, yeah, he said between B and D means birth and death, there is C, which is choice.
Yes.
So yeah, between B and D you have the C, which is choice.
Yes.
One is like that the one that you're saying that we have to make the right choice, number one, and
Wonderful.
also take the extreme ownership. Means
Yeah.
don't blame to God or anyone actually.
Yes. You got it.
And just take the ownership of your own thing. And if something bad happen, I think this is due to your karmic debt. So try to
Yes.
basically push it hard so that you don't have to, you know, keep going on in this cycle. So those are the 2 points I wanted to add. So yes, I learned good things from today's session.
Oh, very nice. I mean,
Yeah,
thank you for sharing.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I know you all also do meditation in the morning already. Do you want to do one more round meditation today, or are you good with what you have done already?
I maybe we can do it tomorrow if that's
Sure.
fine.
Sure. That's perfectly
Because
okay. No
I'm
problem.
at the mall, but still I try to join.
Oh, really? Oh, thank you
Yeah,
so much for making the
yeah,
time. Then don't worry about it.
yeah,
Yeah, you already
yeah.
chant nicely every day. That's great.
Yes, I
Yeah,
did that.
please
Yeah.
keep up. Yeah, please
Yes.
keep up with that. Yeah. Thank you for making the time, Amin.
Yeah.
Nice
No
to see
problem.
you.
Hope to
Yeah.
see you tomorrow. Yeah.
Yeah. Sure. See you. Hare
Okay. Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Yeah. Hare Krishna.